Hi, welcome to another episode of Broadcasting Northwest Florida. I'm Jennifer Connolly with Florida's Great Northwest, and today we're featuring one of our really unique programs and organizations for the state of Florida, and that's Space Florida. And so I'm really excited to have Matt Chestnut, the Director of Business and Economic Development with Space Florida today. And so Matt, can you tell us a little bit about Space Florida and how you work with us throughout the economic development circles?
Yeah, but can. First of all, thanks for having me on today, Jennifer. It's exciting to be here, exciting to be virtually in Florida's Great Northwest, one of the areas I do love to travel to in the state of Florida. So it's fantastic to at least be online and talking to you today. Space Florida is the state's aerospace development authority, with some set up by the Florida legislature, were set up in the Florida statutes to operate and as a vehicle to encourage and support development of the aerospace industry in the state of Florida through some unique financing tools that we can use. Our goal with the state of Florida is to ensure that the aerospace sector in Florida is strong, remains vibrant all throughout the state of Florida. As we know, it's a key industry in what we can do in the state and what we can offer to companies that are looking down here, from not only launching rockets and returning rockets from space now, returning capsules and crew as we saw the other day, but also the supply chain and the groups that we have working throughout the state that support that entire industry, not only in the space side, but also in the aviation side and the military and defense side. So our goal is to encourage the development and the growth of that sector in the state by utilizing our financing tools, which allows us to mitigate costs for companies upfront as they come into the state and create a long-term savings for the companies as they operate in Florida. It's a unique tool that is only held by Space Florida and only allowed to use in the aerospace industry in Florida. It's one of the more unique tools in the country, really, that we have. We're able to actually build facilities for companies and lease them back to companies for some significant tax savings over time and some tax efficiencies. We're also able to purchase equipment for the same type of thing and lease it back to companies for those same type of tax savings. The way our structure is set up and the way the legislature in the state statute set up Space Florida really allows us to pass those tax efficiencies on to the companies long term, which in turn reduces their overall operating costs and their overall capital investment costs that they're going to have to start up in the state. And the beauty part of our program is it works in the entire state of Florida. Like I said, our name, Space Florida, makes everybody think of the rocket programs that we have and launching things into space, and like I said, now returning things. But truly, Space Florida touches all of aerospace, and that includes aviation, maintenance, repair operations, supply chain, manufacturing supply chain into aviation or into the commercial space sector, and also a lot with our military and defense on how we can do and help our private companies that are supporting those military and defense efforts in the state of Florida through manufacturing or logistical support or those type of facilities. So we're able to take our program and really give a great business case scenario for why companies should be looking at the entire state of Florida as well. So we're always excited to work with our communities. As you know, my role is to work with our economic development partners around the state and help you provide as much information, as much support with the Space Florida program as we can.
Matt, we know that throughout the state of Florida, aviation, aerospace, space is just a strong sector for us. But do you mind kind of revealing to our audience a little bit more about what makes Northwest Florida especially appealing for that sector?
Yeah, absolutely. I have the unique opportunity of working around the state, and the state of Florida has some tremendous opportunities from, Pensacola to Key West. So we look at the whole state from that way, but we're seeing a lot of activity in Northwest Florida. And I think that has a lot to do with the military efforts that you have in the state. You have strong bases: Tyndall Air Force Base, Eglin Air Force Base, Pensacola Naval Air Station, Whiting Airfield. You just have some really unique opportunities in that location that not a lot of places really in the country do with that many military installations, particularly that focus on aerospace activities, both from, space and aerospace and military defense. It's all kind of wrapped into there. Plus, you're in the connectivity into the country, really in the southeast, from the Gulf of Mexico up into southeast United States, with I-10 connecting everything that it does there, and then your ability to get to, other transportation areas of the state and of the country, really. So looking at the workforce of Northwest Florida, I mean, you have some unique opportunities that most people don't. I mean, you look at one of the big numbers coming out of Northwest Florida is the number of military retirements, or when they leave the military and go into the civilian force, as you become a place where that's a place of location where they want to live. Just because of the quality of life and what you have available, the cost of living is appropriate, and they like the area. So we see these companies looking at the groups of military personnel that are coming out into the private sector as they retire or move into the private sector. And if you add the educational programs that you have up there, you have some really strong educational programs with your state universities, and your secondary education, putting people into the workforce, maybe not even from a college, but even from that advanced manufacturing type capabilities that you're looking for. Northwest Florida has done a fantastic job with that. So when you look at all those factors that are in there, it's really a great area for a company that's looking at, MRO, with the number of airports that you have up there and air traffic that you're seeing. You talk about even, from an aerospace space standpoint, you have some significant personnel that are coming out that can work on programs that go into the space program or into new aerospace programs, aviation programs that people are looking at. I think you see some of the projects that have landed up there recently are showing that, and that's important. So the ability to leverage all those things for Northwest Florida has really made it an opportunity for companies to look at, particularly from the aerospace sector.
Thank you, Matt. And we certainly agree with that assessment across Northwest Florida. And we appreciate the partnership that you have with us as we work to continue to grow high quality jobs in that aviation aerospace sector. So thank you for being on here with us today. And thank you all for joining us for another episode of Broadcasting Northwest Florida. Please reach out if you have more questions about Space Florida or any of the opportunities within Northwest Florida.